Welcome everyone! Today we have the 7th game of the Chess World Championship, and it was an amazing game. There were good chances. Let's see if the players actually managed to seize them. With the white pieces we have Gukesh, the 18-year-old Indian prodigy. 18 years old. And with the black pieces we have Ding Liren, our reigning champion. So, how did the game go? It started with knight to f3, d5, g3, g6, d4, bishop to g7, c4, c6, bishop to g2. So you can see that we have an Indian attack with the white pieces and a King's Indian defense with the black pieces. So very interesting. We have knight to f6, castles, castles, and rook to e1. So this move is not very common. Usually you have knight to b3 if you want to support this expansion. So the plan is, once Ding takes that pawn, you get the whole center. But so it took Ding by surprise because he was not expecting that. You can see that this capture took him half an hour to play. It is the best move, but it took him half an hour because he was caught off preparation. Anyway, so we have e4, bishop to g4, and knight to d2. Look at the time of Ding. Ding is 40 minutes down the clock. And Gukesh, the engine is showing, has an advantage of 0.36. You know, it's not a crazy advantage, but it is something. So this was the best move. But Ding was thinking, well, he probably came prepared for the best move, so let me try to catch him off guard. And catch him off guard, he did. Because Gukesh went from spending no times per move to spending 7 minutes, so definitely out of his preparation now. So we have e6, h3, bishop takes knight, bishop takes bishop, and we have this big exchange in the center. And after knight to d7, Gukesh finally gets his pawn back, and now they are equal in material. We have b5, knight to e3, queen to b6, bishop to f4, and rook to e8. So here you don't want to trade, because then you'll just surrender the open file to your opponent. So what we have is queen to d2, and after a few moves we'll have a exchange of rooks. So there we go, an exchange of rooks, and the queen takes this pawn. Very dangerous, but Ding just goes for it. The engine is showing 0.8 advantage, 0.79. Here the bar is showing 0.7, but looking at the values, 0.79. Towards in favor of Gukesh. So now you just attack the queen, and where's this queen going? It can't go back to where it's safe. This is not good news for Ding. So after repeating the moves here, just to get closer to, I think, move 40 to get extra time, Gukesh just takes the pawn, and the engine now is showing 0.46, and if you let it run for longer it will show you an even bigger advantage towards Gukesh, because this queen is very far from home, and what is this knight even doing? It can't move anywhere, literally can't move. Okay, well, it can come here and just get taken, but that's probably not the best move, I would say. So we have queen to d3, and now at this point Gukesh has his biggest advantage. So if he plays bishop to e3, protecting the queen, basically after taking the queen, Ding is left with no moves. He can't do anything. But is this move findable? It's very tough. And Gukesh misses it. He plays queen to f4 and just goes for this big trade. You look at the final result, The structure of Gukesh is so much better, but the engine is just showing a draw, 0.5 of advantage. But look at the structure. Pawn island, double pawn island, pawn island, pawn island. It's awful, awful. I wouldn't want to play black here. So we have rook to c5, knight to g6, takes, knight to e5, and after d4, you can see that the advantage of Gukesh is slightly rising, but still a draw. Look at this move. You can't take, because then you just lose your rook. And after this, you just have a draw. So right now, if you play king to g6 or king to f6, so if you come here, that's a draw. And that's what we have. And now what the engine is saying is this. You have to take your knight backwards to try to block these pawns from moving. So basically what it wants is for the knight to come there, attack this and prevent this from ever moving. But that's not what Ding does. And after a few moves, you look at the engine. 0.91 towards Gukesh. He finally has a chance again. It's showing rook to h4, just go after the pawn, just try bulldozing everything. And that's exactly what Gukesh does. Spot on. Ding takes the pawn, we have rook takes, and look at the engine. 1.6, 1.5, 1.7. Gukesh is winning. There's no mistake. And after knight to e4, king to e1, it's already not the best move. And f6, the advantage is disappearing. It's very difficult to tell what Gukesh didn't do right. But the engine was just saying, instead of all of this, just go for this. Start pushing. Make a queen. But unfortunately, that's not what Gukesh did. And you can see that the advantage is just disappearing. 0.4 now. So this is the threat, by the way. So Gukesh possibly had thought about this, but he ignored that he can just take and then just push. Not take, but push and make a queen. Very dynamic game. So we have rook to b4, king to f3, check, g2, rook to b3, rook to e5, f4, rook to e7, and yeah, right now 0-0-0. That's a draw. Unfortunately, Gukesh had a few chances, but very, very difficult for him to spot any of those. So yeah, in the end, we just have a bit of shuffling here, pushed, but there's nothing for him to do. And yeah, after all pawns are gone, or should I say, the rooks are gone, then the knight can sacrifice itself for the pawn. Yep. And yeah, pawn against bishop is just a draw, cause you're gonna get this pawn, and yeah, the bishop cannot checkmate the king by itself. Tough game, heartbreaking for Gukesh fans. It was a very good game. He came very well prepared, but it just wasn't enough. His chances were quite hidden. It was very difficult to spot any of those moves. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I bid you farewell. Have a good one.